Hello, welcome everyone. We're excited to have you today. We're going to wait just a couple more minutes while a few more folks filter in. While we wait, I would love for you to just drop a quick intro into the chat. Your name, your company name, as well as the type of work that you do. We would love to hear about the folks that are in the room together today and get to know each other. Welcome, welcome everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
This is Ermelinda Nahad with Safeguard Insurance. I've been in the industry for 24 years. I do both personal, commercial lines, and I recently have been doing bonds for the last, I'd say about maybe 5, 6 years. I'm kind of a newbie in the industry, but I'm learning the ropes.
Fantastic.
Thank
We're
you. Let me try
excited
to
to have
share.
you.
Melinda, good to have you here. How's everything in McAllen?
Good morning. We're fantastic. Thank you so much. How are you? How's everybody?
Good.
Fantastic. Good.
Good. Pleasure to meet everybody.
Thank, thank you
All
for
right.
for sending your first bond with us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the guidance and having patience with me. I appreciate it.
No
But your
worries.
team's awesome.
Phil, welcome.
I am here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
And who said that? Because I can't really see.
Oh, Phil, it's Phil. I said it. Phil Alexander from Avla.
Okay.
Hello, Terry. All right,
Good
we're going to get
morning.
started. Good morning. We're going to get started in just a moment. If you have the ability to, I would love for you to just put a quick intro into the chat. Just your name, the company name, the type of work that you do. We want to make sure we get to know everybody today.
Sounds good.
Uh,
Yeah, I see also Ryan Bird from McQueen Agency, great agent. Good to
Awesome.
have you here.
Fantastic. All right. And we are looking at 10:04. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, good morning, everybody, and welcome to How to Increase Your Bonding Capacity. My name is Phil Alexander, the third, and I'm excited to have you here today. Over the next 45 minutes, we're going to break down exactly how surety bonds work, what underwriters look for, and how you can get approved even if you've been told no before. Now, I see a lot of awesome people in the chat. If you just jumped in, I would love for you to just share your name, your company name, and what you do. We want to know who's in the room. Now, here's what we're going to be covering today. We'll introduce Avla and our team, walk through Surety Bonds 101, and dive into what underwriters actually look for. We're going to explain the two types of underwriting and share some real contractor success stories. And we're also going to leave a little bit of time for your questions. So let's get started. Again, my name is Philip. I go by Phil for short. I'm going to be your host as we walk through today's session and share some real contractor stories with you. Cheryl Markovitz is our head of surety. And we also have Javier, who's managing our chat today. He handles strategy and outreach for business development. Together, we make sure that you're supported from start to finish in your bonding process. Now let's jump into who we are. At Avla, our mission is simple: empower small to mid-sized contractors We've supported more than 80,000 small businesses across 5 countries, and we're ranked top 5 in Latin America for surety. We have over 20 reinsurers back in our capacity, and we launched our US team in 2024 with about 15 years of global experience. Let's jump into what we came here for, surety bonds, right? A surety bond is a 3-party guarantee. It says that to the project owner that this contractor can get the job done. If something goes wrong, the surety steps in. It's not insurance. That's one thing I want to make sure that you know. It's not insurance. You're still responsible, but it gives owners the confidence to hire you. Now, there are some terms that you'll hear from time to time when it comes to bonds, like the principal. The principal is the contractor. That's many of you that are in this room today. Then we have the obligee. The obligee is the project owner. That's going to be your city developer, the general contractor, whoever is requiring you to get a bond. Sometimes that might be a private homeowner that may require you to get a bond for work that you're doing. And then you have the surety company, like Avla. We guarantee your performance and step in again if something goes wrong. I get this a lot when I'm out and about or I get phone calls. Phil, why do I need a bond? Like, I've never had one before. I've never needed one before. Why are they asking for one? It's probably because you knocked on the right door. Bonds open up doors. Public projects require them, private owners prefer them, and only a fraction of contractors are bonded. What that means is there's going to be less competition and access to bigger jobs for you. It is truly the way that you grow from 200,000 to $2 million projects and do it with confidence is because you have the track record and you have the backing of the surety to say that you can get that job done. Now, the 4 different types of bonds that you're going to encounter in most cases are the bid bond, the performance bond, the payment bond, and then other specialty bonds. Your bid bond is going to be generally for free. Usually it's always free. And what it does is guarantee that you sign the contract if you win the bid. Your performance bond guarantees the completion of the contract based on its specifications. And then your payment bond, that guarantees that you're going to make sure that everybody gets paid. That includes your subcontractors and your suppliers. And the payment and performance bond, a lot of times, are bundled together. You're going to hear it as a PMP bond a lot of times. Again, other types of bonds include subdivision bonds, maintenance bonds. You may even have other miscellaneous bonds like a sales tax bond or other commercial bonds that you will hear from time to time. Now, one thing I want you to take note of at the bottom here is that generally for a payment and performance bond, it's going to be about 1 to 3% of the contract value, and that's going to depend on your risk profile. We'll dive a little deeper in that in the next few slides. Now, we're getting to the deep of things. We're actually going to dive into what underwriters look at when you apply. This is an important part of today's message, so I want to make sure that we take our time to clearly explain it. And I wanted to invite our head of surety, Cheryl Markovitz, to help walk us through the 3 C's: capacity, character, and capital. This is the framework that every surety in America uses to evaluate contractors. Cheryl knows this stuff inside and out because she does it on a daily basis, reviewing these applications. So, Cheryl, before you jump in, I would love for you to just share a little bit more about yourself and why you do what you do.
Thanks, Phil. Hi, I'm Cheryl Markovitz, head of contract surety here at Avla. My background is surety bonds. That's all I've done for my entire career. I started with 2 bond-only agencies, meaning we did not write insurance. All we dealt with were bonds. And then before I came to Avla, I was the regional director for a large traditional surety company in the States and handled this area, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana. So very familiar with the area and the type of bonds that we need. And then came aboard with Avla back in May, and it has been an exciting experience. The program that we have has made a lot of traction and has helped a lot of contractors get started with bonds. But what you need to know about getting bond approval is the 3 C's of surety underwriting. It is the very basic of what you need. If you go back just one, Phil, yeah, back there. I want to start with character. I think that's the biggest thing that an underwriter looks for is the character of a contractor, and how do we determine what their character is? Well, for one, we're going to look at your credit. Credit can be deceiving, but at the same time, it does say a lot about an individual and how they run their finances, which is very important in running your company, is knowing how to run your finances and pay your bills, pay your subs, pay your suppliers. So credit is very important in that character. Life happens, and we do look at contractors that something just went wrong and it really wasn't their fault to an extent, and we still try to work with those, but for the most part, make sure you keep that credit up there. Capacity, don't jump, don't go to extremes, don't start or don't do jobs at 200,000 and jump to $1 million job. Stay within that capacity that you're used to and grow gradually. And then what was the other one?
Capital.
Capital. Keep your money in your company. So yeah, don't make those large withdrawals from the company and go buy the big boat for the lake and stuff like that. I mean, those times will come, but for the most part, manage your money, keep the money in the company, and you'll be secure in those times when something does go wrong, that you're going to be able to handle what's happened. So, okay, we can go to the next slide. What we evaluate, pretty much just told you what we evaluate. We look at your job history. What size of jobs have you been doing? What scope of work do you do? Is the bond you're looking for in those ranges? Is it within the size range? I mean, it doesn't have to be the same or under. We can jump in size to a small degree, usually 1.5 to 2 times of what your typical job size is. So do you have an experienced crew? Your project managers, your estimators especially, are they experienced? Do they know what they're doing? Are they educated? You don't want an estimator that is inexperienced to the fact that they really don't know what they're doing, or they're just too young to understand. They go in there and they put in a bid and they don't cover everything. And then you're stuck trying to cover the cost with your profits. So equipment, do you own or lease? The right tools, do you have the right tools to do the job? And geography. If you're working in Texas, are you really going to jump up to Washington State and do a job? Are you ready for that? Or are you going to gradually grow there? No extremes. Remember that. No extremes. Was that all for me? And then
Sure. Cheryl, one more thing. When it comes again to capital here, can you explain? You mentioned that you want to make sure you leave the money in the company. Do you want to just share a tad bit more about what you mean by that?
Sure. I know a lot of companies are, when you look at a financial statement, you have that end of the year usually withdrawal. And sometimes it's to pay taxes or whatever you need to do with the company, but more so just managing responsibly and keeping as much money in the company as possible, so that you build up your equity as well as your retained earnings. And that money's needed because there's going to be a job that really challenges you. So you want to be prepared. You want to be ready to be able to overcome any adversities that may come along on a particular job. And typically they come in threes. So if you have one that may go a little bit sideways, watch out for the next one. It's just you just want to be prepared. You want to be ready. And it's the same thing with life. You don't want to just blow your money. You want to put some away for retirement or for savings or to pay for that vacation. So really just be responsible.
Absolutely. I think that's an excellent point. Some contractors literally build themselves out of business when you're not keeping your financials correct and doing things in the right manner. Uh, just so you know, everyone knows for bonds over 1.5 million, we do review like your balance sheet, the profit and loss statement, and your personal financial statements. So that's why you want to make sure that you have those uh, paperwork in the right orders is truly important. So now we're going to jump into the two main types of underwriting. We have credit based, and then we also have full underwriting. So for our credit based program, that's going to be up to 1.5 million single and 2.5 aggregate. That 2.5 is going to a lot of times require a bit more paperwork to get there, but it's definitely doable. But this is the fast lane. This is how a lot of contractors start out. You don't have a lot of bonded jobs, a lot of history underneath your belt. So being able to keep your credit intact is going to truly help you speed through and get that bond quickly for those first jobs. Um, there's minimal paperwork needed. And again, this is going to be based on your credit score, your DMB report, and your job size experience. And it's perfect for getting started. Now, Cheryl, on the full underwriting side, I know again we were talking about the financial review. Is there anything else that you would add that may not be on this slide?
Hello?
This was custom.
Jerry.
Not really.
So what's up?
Oh,
Just trying to
okay.
get you
Well,
hard.
fantastic. All in just as a quick housekeeping, this is being recorded so we can send it out to those that were not able to make it today. So if possible, until we get to the Q&A portion, if you can put your microphones on mute, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so let's talk about getting bonded with Avla and what it looks like. The ideal contractor is going to have a FICO score of 700 for all the owners and spouses. Now, that's because it's a personal indemnity. That means that you are stepping in with this bond. You're putting skin in the game to say that, hey, I'm dedicated to getting the work done. I have the capability of getting the work done. And so that's why we check your personal credit because, again, just like Cheryl said, it speaks a bit to your character. We also look for 2+ years of being in business and having that proven relevant experience. You're going to want to make sure that there's no liens or judgments or suits on your D&B report. You're also going to want to make sure that your job history matches the bond size. I have this happen probably about once a week. I'll have someone they've been doing jobs over about 150K, but then they're going for the full Monty. They want the whole 1.5 million to start out with, and we don't have the work to justify bumping them up that high, that they have the capability and the know-how for the complexity of those jobs. So what you'll need to apply for this, and we will make sure you get the resources, is a completed application. We also will get a personal credit authorization from you. We're going to need your business information and then the specific project details. That's important if you're going after the payment and performance bond. If you're looking to just see where you are with Avla, like to be pre-qualified, you won't need project details as far as having a project that you're bidding on. We do want to know about your largest job history and things of that sort. Again, for the credit-based program, these are the things that we look for, and the flat rate for that program is at 3%. It's simple, we're transparent with our pricing, and there's no hidden fees.
And Phil,
Now, if
well, this is Javier. I just wanted to mention, I don't know if you or Cheryl can highlight the convenience of having this program, especially as far as cost, because I know a lot of contractors out there or agents see that getting all the paperwork, financial statements, reviewed by CPA and all of that, it has a considerable cost. So what can you share about that in your experience?
absolutely, yeah, so we're going to share some stories from real contractors today, and some of those stories speak to what happens when you're not pre-qualified or when you can't get a bond fast. The fact of the matter is, you legitimately are going to lose money because if you're not able to get that bond quick and somebody else is faster to it, if you miss the deadline for putting in a bid submission, that's money lost that you could have potentially won. So being able to go through like a credit-based program, especially in the beginning, allows you to not have all the ducks in a row, but show that you have a track record of having primarily your things in a row to be able to get that bond and submit quickly. Um, Now, again, we're going to share a little bit more about that going forward. Um, but it is important that you know that speed is of the essence. You know, a lot of times you're finding out about a project last minute. You might have just been scrolling on some of the procurement sites like Bonfire or Civcast, and you see one that miss you that actually matches your appetite, but you don't have a whole lot of time to get it done. And that's where we step in to be able to speed things up to help you get that bond. Now, if we just went through all of this with the FICO score and everything, and you got a little tightness in your chest or a little bit of concern, I want to address that head on about some of the common challenges that some contractors face. Because we don't live in a perfect world, things happen, right? So if your credit score is below 700, or you have an outstanding tax lien, let's say if you have insufficient job history, or the contract may be too large for your capacity, we're going to share some tips to help you overcome that. But some of our key solutions for that is being able to give you a pre-qualification review, looking to see where you are, and then you know exactly what's missing and how we can help how you can help yourself improve. We also have a vast agent network. This agent network, even though you may not pre-qualify what I outlined in the beginning, we're still going to connect you with an agent that would be able to help with your bonding strategy, that may be able to provide you other options. Because yes, Avla is in the business of providing you a bond, but we're also in the business of seeing your business grow. So that means that even if you are not a not right now customer, if you are a not right now customer, we still want to be able to help you and get you to your next right step. Now, with that said, that may be a roadmap for approval. Like, hey, here's some things that you can work on that will help you become bondable. Now, the top three things mirror what number four is. We provide custom underwriting with care. What that means is that we not only see the numbers, but we see you. We hear you and we understand what your mission and goals are. And we want to look for an avenue to be able to connect that mission and goal to the bond that you need to be able to get it done. So we'll speak a little bit more about how we provide that custom underwriting and care in the next upcoming slides. We're going to jump in and share a little bit of some true stories. Now, the names have been changed, but the stories are real. So I want you to meet Mr. Avla here. The challenge is that he has deep construction experience, right? He has the experience that he needs to get the job done, but he does not have any bonding history. Sureties have nothing tangible to really evaluate the track record as far as on paper. So we're going to talk about what someone like Mr. Avla would do. Mr. Avla partnered with other established bonding contractors on smaller projects. What that means is he's going out and he's still getting work. He's working with other subs, other GCs to be able to do smaller chunks of those projects. He's documenting every single job that he's doing, not only with pictures, but contacts, but also making sure that he locks in good phone numbers and client references. He's also not only completing those jobs, but he's doing public jobs as well. Many of you may not know this, but if it's a public job and it's under 50,000, a lot of times a bond is not necessary. And if a job is under 25,000 and you're a small business, there are many municipalities that will actually pay you quickly via a credit card as well. So those small jobs add up as well as it adds to your credibility. So whether it's Navasota or something you've done in Houston, those small contracts add up as well. But also, Mr. Avila applied for pre-qualification. And not only did he apply, but he provided those references. He provided his financials because he's showing a good track record of work that he's done these jobs on the commercial side, that he's done them for other GCs and subs, and that he has the ability of doing it. Now, in particular to Mr. Avila here, he actually worked in construction for a larger company. And so he had a track record in his resume that showed that he had the capability, the know-how, and the experience to do it. So the result was that we were able to get him approved for bonding capacity, and he's now confidently completing larger projects. And it's all built on the foundation that he took time to document things like Cheryl talked about, kept his financials in order, made sure that he had those referrals. So start small, document everything meticulously, and build incrementally. Success leaves a paper trail. So let's go ahead and collect these breadcrumbs and get to those larger projects. Mr. J, we call him the credit comeback. Now, Mr. J ran into a couple of snags, like many contractors do from time to time. A big one was the pandemic. A lot of folks ran into troubles during the pandemic, and just like Mr. J here, it damaged his personal credit and business credit. He had some outstanding debts, and that really strained the surety relationships that he had and so the solution for that was to sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. So he worked on debt repayment. He worked on cleaning his books, making sure that he had a CPA that was going to be able to assist with knowing exactly what's happening with the numbers and being able to keep track of everything coming in and out. Again, local partnerships, just like Mr. Avla in our first story, local partnerships with other bonded GCs and subs help you build your credibility. It shows that you're still getting work done, even though it may not be bonded work. It still may be public work, which is really helpful. And then also transparent communication. Now, Cheryl talked a lot about character, and I get on the phone with tons and tons of people, and I truly appreciate if you let me know things up front. It speaks to your character. It speaks that you're willing to talk about the tough things. Because once we get to the credit authorizations and things of that sort, we're going to see that information anyway. It's better that you tell me the full picture and be transparent about it, because then you're gaining yourself another cheerleader. I'm able to go and say, hey, Cheryl, this is what we saw. Hey, underwriting, this is what we saw in what they told us. And once she goes and she looks and sees the same thing, but we can see a track record of you cleaning up the books of the repayment. There are no liens left. You gotten the releases of the liens and things of that sort. That's going to help you be able to get your bond. So getting your credit fully repaired, having that trust restored, is what got Mr. J to be able to do more bonded projects at previous bonding capacity. So the key lesson here is discipline and honesty. That's going to rebuild your trust. Making sure that you're owning the challenges and take consistent action. One thing that would hurt you is being quiet about it, not asking for help or not seeking what your solutions are, and just kind of playing the sad song with the violin as the ship goes down. You don't have to do that. You can find ways to bring yourself afloat. Our last story is Miss R, Strength and Phases, right? So there was a lien. We had constrained cash flow, and there was a large project that she wanted to go for. The first thing that needed to happen was to make sure that the lien was released. And that may require negotiation on your part. That may require uh, getting the financing you need to make sure that everything's paid off, but also making sure that you're completing the work on time and that you're under budget and that you want to build with confidence. So that's how you get to phase one, is by actually doing those smaller jobs, collecting them, doing them on time. So while you're working on the issues that you're having, you can also stack your positive side and making sure that you're doing the right things, so that you don't want to force yourself into a $2 million project. Because again, you can build yourself out of business. Even if you were able to get a bond, if you don't understand the complexity of that project, that can hurt you in the long run. And then once you start getting those, it can be difficult to get that right. Yes, you got to go through more people. So take your time. So when you reach phase two, you're showing a stronger cash management and you're starting to have clean documentation. You got proven reliability on your side. This is what we're looking for. We're looking at your credit. We're looking to see that you know everything, that you have all your ducks in a row. And for phase three and four is the exact same thing. You have a solid track record. We are increasing your bonding capacity. One, because if you stick with the surety like Avla, you're going to be able to grow your capacity because we see your work, we see your consistency, and we're able to quickly reevaluate your pre-qualification standards. And then once you reach the next phase, like Miss R, you're able to go after full underwriting because you've taken care of everything. You slow down so you can speed up, and you no longer have that financial strain going on. So now you can confidently jump in and do those projects of 2 million plus because you can go underneath the scrutiny of full underwriting. So again, the key lesson from this is you don't have to win it all at once. Strategic phasing builds capacity without breaking your business. Now, I want to share some quick tips for you, right? That'll help boost your approval odds. And I try to make sure that this was as plain and as possible because it's not difficult, it's not overly complex. It just requires you to do it. So that's starting small with public jobs under 50K, keeping personal credit above 700 or getting yourself there, maintaining clean books, pay your subs and suppliers on time. You're also going to want to document your job history. Keep your debt low. Avoid maxing out those credit lines and leverage impact capacity and leverage your capacity. You're going to want to clear any liens that you may have. Ask for realistic capacity. Again, like I mentioned, you don't want to be doing jobs at 150, but submit an application for 1.5 million. You do these things and you will be bondable. A couple more insider tips and things to remember is that bid bonds are generally free. You don't pay for bid bonds. Most sureties, including Avla, provide them at no cost and it's part of your bonding relationship. We want you going after work. We want you to have the ability to win more projects. You also want to prioritize capacity over cost. It's better to pay 3% and win the job than it is to lose over trying to save 0.5%. Focus on opportunity and not just the price. Now, when it comes to that, there are ways that you could do that. Some contractors, they are savvy in their cost savings, but also they build it into their estimate. Also, you can partner with different obligees as well as subcontract as well as primes, and some of them reimburse bonds if required. Now, you want to keep your resume ready. That's important, especially if you're just starting out. You want to keep that clean and ready. You may not be applying for a job, but you need to show that you have gotten jobs before and that you have a consistent track record. This also is an important document to have when you're building out something like your your capability statement. When you're going after some of these larger public entities, they want to see in a clear, concise document exactly what you do, how you do it, and how you can get the job done for them. You also have, you can split large projects. Now, what this means is, let's say, like Miss R, you have a $2 million project, right? And your bonding capacity is 500,000. If that obligee loves you, if you have built a strong relationship with them, they may be willing to structure the contract to where you're able to do it in phases. Meaning phase one is 500K, phase two is another 500K, and so on. That allows you to do a large project even though you broken it down into small pieces. Again, the question is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So just same thing with a contract. You may be able to negotiate that into smaller pieces so you'll have the bonding capacity to do it. And then be sure to keep your agent in the loop. They are your advisor. They can help you with bonding strategy. They can help make sure that you are able to answer the right questions for underwriting. So before those applications get sent out and things of that sort, they can review all of that and make suggestions like, hey, I think you're going to need your resume when you go after this, or what projects have you done similar to this that you can help in your job history? So don't just show up the day of that you need the bond. If you know in advance, get that agent in the loop. Let them know what you're thinking about. Share with them so they can be prepared to be in the fight with you. Now, we wanted to make sure that we save some time for Q&A, but I want to talk a little bit about the next steps with Avla. So we have two options. One is you can go ahead and apply for our credit-based bonding program. Javier will drop our application into the chat in just a moment, but it's a quick, simple application. It's only 2 pages plus signatures, and it allows you to pre-qualify up to 1.5 million. And a lot of times you're going to get, if everything is in order, you'll get that done within 24 to 48 hours. The other option is you can set aside time to speak with me or Javier or someone from our team for a review and talk about your capacity. We'll look at your application, identify any gaps, and provide a clear roadmap of how you can get approved. My contact information is there. You could take a picture of that, but I'll also have that information towards the end. Don't leave here today, though, without taking action. We definitely want to make it happen with you together. So, regardless of your particular situation, we want to speak with you because we see you, we hear you, and we want to help you get to that next step. And this starts by just knowing what the facts are so we can evaluate and provide you a solution. Now we have gotten to our Q&A portion, and so we're going to answer as many questions as possible. Please take advantage. We have Cheryl here. She has over 35 years of experience with bonding and surety, and we just want to make sure that we're able to provide time to help you specifically. You can drop those questions in the chat, Javier. When you're ready, you're able to come off of mute and share those questions with me and Cheryl, and we'll jump through as many as possible.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it, Philip, and thank you so much for everything. And Cheryl, also thank you. We have over here David Clarkson asking if the bonds are backed by SBA. And Cheryl, what can you tell us about that?
No, we do not have an SBA bond program, so they're not bonded by the SBA.
Awesome. And with that, even if you were considering getting a bond through the SBA, still give us an opportunity to take a look at it. You may not need to go through the fight of the arduous process of going through the SBA for that bond. We may be able to pre-qualify you for some bonding capacity.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Phil and Cheryl. We have also some questions about what if they have been pre-qualified or they have been approved for a bond before, but it has been a long time uh, that they have had until the last time they used that. So do they need to pre-qualify again? Do they need to reapply? How long until a pre-qualification lasts?
It depends on how long it is. A lot of times a contractor will get pre-qualified and really doesn't find the job that he needs, doesn't find a job he needs bonds for. So I would say after 6 months, we're probably going to pull your credit again. If you're bond active, we pull your credit annually. So it just depends, how long it's been and what your credit looked like at the time we did pre-qualify you. A lot of times it can help to go ahead and pull that credit again if you've worked on building your credit, if it was a little bit low. So it's not a bad thing to have to get a pre-qualified again. So I wouldn't worry about it.
That's awesome. Yeah. A bad question is the one that you don't ask. So know that myself and Javier, we're you guys in the streets. We want to be able to speak with you. And so if you have questions about that, feel free to reach out to us and we can always check with underwriting to see what's going to be required.
No, fantastic. And if you guys want to raise your hand and make the question directly, you can also do that. One of the other questions that we have, do I need a bond for each individual project, or do I get, if I get pre-qualified, I can do whatever type of job out there that comes and that will be enough?
Pre-qualification gives you an idea of what you can obtain bonds for, what amounts, whether you're going to get a single job size limit and you're going to get a total program limit of collectively all your bonded jobs, of how large those limits will go. So what was the question again? I just lost my thought.
Yeah, it's just about the uh do you
If
need
they
a
need to get a
bond
bond every time.
every
Oh, yeah,
time
need
for
a
every
bond.
contract?
Okay, yes, thank you. I'm sorry. So, yes, you do need a bond every time. The bond is the obligee, who is whoever you're contracting with, is the one that decides if you need a bond. So there's no, if we were to give you a million single or a million aggregate program, then you're going to apply each time for the bonded project. It's not a blanket. It doesn't cover everything, every project, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure that's great information. And over here we have some questions. Do we do a soft or a hard pull on the personal credit scores?
It's a soft pull.
Okay, that's right. It's a soft pull always, so it won't have any impact in your credit scores. And is it typical for a contractor to have more than one bonding relationship? And how do Avla deals with it?
One more than one bonding relationship where they're getting bonds from more than one surety company. It's not, it's become more common with these credit-based programs, but the ideal situation is to have one surety that meets all your needs, bonding needs, and not just, you know, hop around and use different sureties. If you stay with one, we know you, we know what you can do, we grow with you. We want you to be successful. We want to write your bonds. We don't look for a way not to write them. So I think on a relationship basis, staying with one surety is your best option.
No, I think that's great. Um,
And one agent.
oh yeah, the agent is always critical.
Yes.
Um, then what happens if I need a bond larger than my current limit? Um, what can we do about those situations? Because sometimes contractors do win contracts above their bonding capacity and they want to do it, but then what are the options out for them if they under their current pre-qualification do not have a good bonding capacity for that?
Ask, like Philip said, ask. Let's look at it and let's see if it makes sense. Don't contract with them until you know for sure you can get the bond, or put up a bid bond or a cashier's check until you know for sure you can get the bond. But a lot of times, if it's just you're at your capacity, then we can ask for a little additional information, maybe a financial statement, personal statement, and increase that a little bit to cover another job that may take you over those bonding limits. Ask.
Yeah, that's always very important. Philip, I think we run out of questions unless anyone from the audience wants to share something else. But I do want to share a little comment, and it's that it's always good today to get pre-qualified. Because if you know for how much you pre-qualify, then instead of bidding for works that you're not going to be able to be bonded, then you can bid for jobs that fall within your current capacity. So that's important, and I think that's critical. And yeah.
Yeah, awesome. We're going to review a couple more fundamentals just quickly. So we'll jump to that. So again, here are the fundamentals. You want to build your track record. You want to make sure that you scale strategically, that you pay on time, that you organize your financials, and that you protect your credit. That's going to be really important as you look towards bonds. And just as Javier said, we definitely want to be able to help get you pre-qualified. On the screen is our application. You can scan that and it will download for you, as well as our information so you can contact us. I also just realized, funny thing, my name is Philip and Javier on this slide. So you will be contacting me. So my phone number is 832-447-4117. You can text or call me at that number. I am happy to answer questions, and me and Javier will be in touch with you. You also have my email address. And yeah, let's build something together. When you're ready to grow, we're ready to help you prove it. And with bonding that and making sure that you have bonding that's going to build your future. We're all in the business together to help you open up these doors. So thank you so much for joining our webinar today. I hope you got some great information, and we look forward to speaking to you individually about your case and how we can help get you to the next right step.
All right. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.